This video I will be talking about money, so let's get right into it here. So basically, I believe there's only two forms of currency in most countries. There's the paper variant, and there's the coins variant. So let's get right into it here. So for me, I always feel like the paper variant is more desirable, it's more valuable, it's more marketable, I guess, towards the people in general. I feel like if you look at any dollar bill, for instance, the fact that we put, a number sign on there, like $1, the fact that we throw some dude's face on there or some woman's face, and the fact that we're also throwing in like a government building or something important and sacred, and slapping all that into a piece of paper and calling it a $1 bill. I just find it to be a bit ridiculous at times, and even the things that you can buy with a $1 bill, like gum or anything like that, the more money, the more you can buy stuff. But I just find it to be a bit ridiculous because paper money is so fragile. The fact that you can literally just destroy it in its current condition because it's so easy to destroy. You can rip it apart, punch it, kick it, piss it, shit on it. You can basically do whatever to the money, and as long as as long as it still looks good, it'll work. And I just find it to be a bit ridiculous at times because I'm like, why do we put so much stock into something that is so, you know, easy to destroy? It's like, why? Like, are the things that we buy in life really that, is it really worth buying with these kind of cheap $1 bills and whatnot? I mean, it even gets worse too because like when you make those $100 bills, those $20 bills, those $50 bills, it just gets worse and worse because people are going to assume that the higher the number value is, the more desirable it is to them, and the more they can buy stuff of it. So take for instance if you were having a birthday party and the people gave you like free money because they're stingy as fuck. And they don't want to buy gifts, because so they just your free money. Let's say you get like 200, 300 bucks in total, but you will notice that for the most part, it'll usually be like 20s, or sometimes if you're really lucky, it'll just be a flat $100 bill. And the point that I'm trying to make here for paper money is that it's just mind-boggling that something so simple can buy so many things in the world that obviously are of much greater importance. Like, for instance, if you're buying a new Samsung phone or something, the fact that you're gonna waste around, I'd say, like $600, $700 in value, depending on what kind of Samsung phone, but you get the point. It's like, the fact that sometimes we just spend a lot of money on things that, it's like, oh, maybe this would actually look better if we bought this in coins instead. But no, I mean, I think everybody chooses to prefer paper money, and myself included, because it's easier to handle. Like, you don't have to count like your pennies and stuff like that. You can just pay one paper dollar bill, and it's just much more convenient. It'll fit your wallet. It's like, it's just easier to carry around that kind of cash as opposed to coins. And with coins, I feel like coins are often underlooked because I suppose they're the opposite of paper money. Like, instead of being easier to destroy, they're much harder to destroy because they're minted, they're coated in copper and that kind of crap. So, the fact that it's harder to destroy, and maybe the fact that it's very disorganized in the sense that when you're paying for something, you're gonna have to bring in a lot of these coins as opposed to a dollar bill, or as opposed to the paper money where you can just pay in shorter amounts, but it will be around the same thing. So for instance, a $1 bill is equal to around 100 pennies, right? So basically, if you just pay in $100 bills, or I'm sorry, $100 bills is equal to 1,000 pennies. Sorry. So basically, if you pay in the $100 bill paper money as opposed to paying 1,000 coins, it'll be much more easier for you and the person who's receiving your transaction. Yeah, I always feel like the pennies were often underlooked because sometimes when I would walk around from school, I would see like pennies on the ground, and it's like no one really gives a shit about pennies, so you just throw the crap on the fucking ground. And it's like, how often do you see coins on the ground compared to paper money? Because I assure you, if I were to drop $5 on my local city, that shit will get taken faster than my GPA could drop. But anyways, I'm just saying that coins are often underlooked because I suppose they are the opposite. They're harder to break. They're very disorganized, and it's just a lot of hassle carrying around that much weight, and obviously because these coins are made from copper and metal, you know, this sort of metallic chemical crap. The more you have, the more heavier it will be. Whereas with paper bill, it's just so light. Like you can carry like, you know, stacks of cash, and it won't be as heavy as carrying 100 or maybe even 1,000 thousand coins and whatnot. But either way, I mean, it's just weird. It's like, you know, like this doesn't apply to the average human as well, but this applies to countries too. You know, countries that actually use these kind of currencies to, you know, fund their government agenda and that kind of stuff. And it's just like, well, you know, maybe this is the way it is now. You know, ever since, if I remember, I think the Romans back then, they used to be, or they used to use a coin based system, a merit system, or some shit like that. But I think we've gone to the point now where, you know, we're trying to, you know, establish our own sort of generation and our own era of using paper bills. Who knows? Maybe in the future, with Bitcoin being the new thing now, I guess, you know, we might not we might not even need to rely on paper money or digital coins anymore. Or, I'm sorry, paper money or coins anymore. We can just rely on, you know, digital, because everything's digital now in this day and age. So yeah, I just find it to be a bit, you know, interesting. Honestly, like, you know, has anyone ever thought about why they're paying so much attention to paper money? Like, why do we carry this thing so much in terms of the value, other than the stuff I just described? But yeah, honestly, it's an interesting topic to think about, because it's like, you know, maybe if there's a third currency, what would it be? You know, if it isn't paper, if it isn't in coins, could it be digital? Could it be something else? I don't really know, to be honest, but you know, I'm just saying that at the end of the day, you know, I think we're just used to, you know, paying in dollar bills now, especially paper money, because that's more desirable. You know, that's easier to carry, and all the other stuff I just mentioned. With that being said, I'm kind of running out of ideas for this topic. I didn't really research it. I just kind of like, you know, just say whatever and upload it on YouTube. So I think that does it for this video. Hopefully you enjoy the gameplay. I know it's not anything too interesting, but you know, I try to showcase my games so that my videos won't be so boring in terms of the gameplay aspect. So yeah, that should be about it.